I dropped a stone in consciousness to see how far it fell, but for all I tried to listen to the wishings of the well, it never stopped ascending and it barely raised a sound. And in this never-ending maze of cosmic variance, I found that I am master and apprentice now within my own existence. And I cast my lines of emphasis to fish for my subsistence in the ocean of the mind and in the rivers of the heart with the devotion to divine manifestations of the arts. And I went down into the other world to set my shadow free. And in the darkness of that cave I heard the echoes of the she, where Freke the son of Maeve was carved an ohm upon the stone, and the Morrigan awakened and appeared to me alone. And she said, I've been the eel, I've been the cow, the wolf and crow, and I've seen the future now, there's something you should know. And as I stood there in that silence, she then whispered in my ear, at the heart of life is violence, at the heart of love is fear. But through fear we move from ego to become our spirit guides, as we learn instead to let go and succumb to live our lives in the presence of that shadow and the light from which it's cast, with a focus on the future and acceptance of the past. And through violence comes the chaos, but from chaos comes the calm, and without it there's compliance to the plight and fate of man. For all have been condemned to fight their wars who toil for peace, in order to transcend the inner turmoil of the beast. Yet all contained that dance of hope and love and pain and fear, though at a glance may seem to cope, or so it would appear. For many grow content to see that life is what they know, but in the end they too descend and to that darkness go. So know, she said, and looked at me, and in that knowing find that gnosis comes to those who seek the way of the divine, who understand the all as I, who see the all as I, shall answer to that higher call and fall but never die. And I left her in that cavern as I crawled back to the light, and I lay upon Rathcrohan till the day became the night, with my thoughts upon the Tawn and on the warriors of yore, who had fought upon these plains and who'd walked these fields before. And I thought about Cuchulainn, about Ferdia and Fionn, and of the tales about the Fianna and the trials they'd overcome. And I thought of Maeve and Allel and their palace that was there, and of the masses that were gathered and assembled for the fair. And though the ancestors regaled me of the time spent in their youth, when the jesters took the lies and then rebranded them as truth, as they mocked the great and powerful with their stories and their jokes, and the paradoxic parables that their parodies invoked, I thought back to the present, of how we'll be seen today, as the crescent moon was rising on the ruins on which I lay. And I wondered if they'll teach us, as a lesson in their schools, or as a tale to tell their kids about the king who played the fool. But the stone I dropped kept falling, until one day I looked down, just to see that where I dropped it, it was nowhere to be found. And in the place I thought I left it, was a hand I held in mine, as a gift of understanding that was sent from the divine. But once more I heard the Morrigan, from the shadows of that cave, as her voice arose and echoed, and she bade me to be brave. And I swear I heard her laughing as she held on to that stone and said, love is not a choice, it's just a truth that must be known.